What's up, y'all? What's going on? Let's talk about some funded accounts. I get a lot of questions about funded accounts, so I'm going to tell you the two that I use. I know there's a lot out there, so I'm just going to real quick go over the two that I use and tell you the pros and cons that I like about them. First, we are going to start with Take Profit Trader. That is, it's a good company. They are legit, I want to say, and I have received payouts from them, so I can speak about it because I have lived it. So real quick, Take Profit, I think they're a pretty new company, I want to say, but they have some really good benefits, some pros, and that I want to go over. You can get a few different sizes of accounts, 25, 50, 75, up to 150. And you can see here, for example, the 50K, the target is $3,000. You can go up to 6 contracts or 60 micros because we know micros are 1/10 of a contract. They have the daily loss limit of 1100 and end of day trailing drawdown. And they don't do trading bots, which is algos that specifically run the trades for you without you being there. That is not allowed, and they want you to be consistent. So if you're consistently making, let's say, $500 every day, and then one day you make $50,000, they're going to pretty much say that's not consistent. So you want to sort of get into a good habit of getting your goal and stop trading, right? Or you can go over, of course, but as long as the average is around what your daily average is, you can have some spikes here and there. Um, so if we look at some pros, one thing I really like about them is you only have to trade for 5 days. So after 5 days, that's 1 week, which you could start on a Monday. Sorry, you can start on a Monday and you can finish on Friday, and the following Monday you can start getting paid. That's real big thing with me. And you can see here 0 days for your first withdrawal. So basically what that means is after those first 5 days, the Monday through Friday, that following Monday, let's say you make 500 bucks, you can take that out. Now they do have some stipulations with that, meaning if, let's say, for example, you are doing the 50K account and you make 3,000 to pass it, and until you make 3,000 on your real account, they will take a higher percentage from you if you withdraw before you reach the 3,000. So that is a stipulation, but you can take it if you want to, as long as you're okay with them taking a higher percentage. So basically, you could take the first week with the eval, make 3,000 by Friday. The following week, do the same thing. By that Friday, make another 3,000. That would be your buffer. So now you have a $3,000 buffer. At the end of that week, the following week, that Monday, you can start withdrawing every day, and money comes the same day or by the next day when the business opens or the bank opens. So that's really cool. Another cool pro that they have is, let's say you pass your eval and you get a pro account and you blow it for whatever reason, the market does something crazy or you get FOMO, emotions, whatever the case is. You can reset the account. So that way you don't have to start over with the eval. You could start over with your PRO account at zero again, which is a big plus. Now, granted, they are going to charge you a lot of money, but it will save you the time and the hassle of having to go through the evaluation period again. And you could do that up to 3 times. Um, yeah, you can do that up to 3 times. So I think they will increase the price every time you reset it. So let's not blow your accounts, right? Another thing is you have a one-time fee of $130, but I will leave a link down in the description with the promo code. They have 40% going off on their accounts right now. And if you use the code, once you do pass your eval, yes, once you do pass, you will not have to pay that fee. and also they will give you a free account. So once you pass your first eval, they're going to give you a PRO account at no extra cost to you, 40% off, and they're going to give you a free eval account. So that way you have a PRO account and you have another eval account. You could have up to three accounts at one time, and you could trade all three at that same time. They have good support. I guess I never really used them. I think I used them before just to help set up. The first time it was a little bit confusing, but they have videos now, which helps a lot. And another thing is they don't have live drawdown. So there's other prop firms, including the one I'm going to talk about next, that has live drawdown. So basically, what that is let's say you're up 500 and price comes back down to zero. So now you're at break even pretty much. And let's say if you close the trade at zero, live drawdown means that you're actually your trailing drawdown actually went up $500 because your account peaked at $500. So that actually moved your trailing up that same amount. They don't have that, and that's a great thing actually, because that means you can hold trades longer and stay in them. So that is a plus for this one. And yeah, I definitely recommend them, especially if you're looking to get, something that's a little bit more consistent in the payouts on a daily basis. Let's say if you just want to make a couple $100 a day and get the money the same day, this is a great choice for you. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Take Profit is really good. They are an up and coming competitor in the funded space. I definitely recommend them, and they have two different types of data that you can use, which is really cool. So they have, first is Rhythmic, which uses I don't know these other companies here, but our trader is what connects directly with the NinjaTrader platform. So if you're using NinjaTrader only, you can use Rhythmic, and the data is free. Once you actually get a funded account, they give you free data with that account. The other one is CQG, and that one is really good because this is the one that I use, because this one works with NinjaTrader platform. It also works with TradeAvate and TradingView. So what that means is you can buy this account and choose this data. And once you get your account, you could trade on NinjaTrader, the application that you have to download, or you can trade on TradeAvate, or you could connect your TradeAvate to TradingView and take your trades directly on TradingView with the live data included. So that's really cool, because I know a lot of people like to use TradingView. So that is a good option for you. And so this is a little bit about the splits here, the profit splits. As you can see, like we talked about withdrawals, you can do it from day one. Um, the profit split is 80% for you and 20% for them. And I think this profits above. So, like I was saying, if you get your profits above that buffer, then you keep 90%. Meaning, so the 50K account, it costs 3,000, or it takes 3,000 to pass. So once you get your PRO, if you make another 3,000, that means that you have the buffer, and above that buffer, you get to keep 90% of it. So that's what I was saying. They will take a larger percentage if you don't have that buffer. And like I was saying, you could have up to three accounts at once. If you have a trade copier, this works really good. You can have um, a lot of opportunity here to make some good money on a daily basis. And yeah, you can go through all of these consistency rules and stuff. This says none. Is this new? We require that you show consistency while you test. Your biggest day cannot be. This is new. Okay, so that looks like a plus. Maybe there is no consistency news. One thing about the news is that you can't trade major news. And if we go here, this is going to show you the news you can't trade. There's only a few. You can't trade FOMC, NFP, and CPIs. So that means that you have to wait 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. And then after that time, you can trade. So you can't pretty much go full port on news and just try to max out your funds. They won't let you do that. They're a little bit smarter than that. But other than that, I really recommend them. They're really good. They have pretty good prices for their commissions. It's not that bad. And yeah, I definitely recommend them. So the second one that I recommend, this is the one that I started out with, where I was getting my payouts from initially, is Apex. Apex is they've been around for a while now, and they've come a long way. I remember when I first started using Apex, I think it was about 2 years ago. You used to have to wait for your payout for, I think it was 60 days. So you have to trade your account. I think it was, you had to trade for 15 days. And then after that, you had to have your PA account. It's like a PRO account. You used to have that for, I want to say 60 days to get your first payout. So it used to be really bad. They've come a long way. Now it's completely different. It's completely changed. Now the days is seven trading days. So little like a whole week and a couple of days. And yeah, you could trade pretty much any instrument. And it's pretty similar to take profit, but it's let's go over this. So the 50 account for Apex, for example, same profit go 3,000. You have a little bit more trailing threshold, and you could take more contracts, 10 contracts or 100 micros instead of six. So that is a little bit better if you are the type that wants to go more contracts, things like that. So you can use this and have more contracts available. So another thing, data is included when you get um, these, and you can choose Rhythmic or Tradeovate as well. The same thing. So you can do the same thing where you can connect to TradingView to use this. Now, the difference with Apex, which is why I was using them for as long as I did, was because they let you get up to 20 accounts. What that means is you can make a lot of money using Apex. In saying that, I had a trade copier and I had 20 accounts at a time for a while. And I would have my goals set. So I had a scheme that I would do. I would have 20 accounts. I would have my copier. Five of those accounts, I would go one contract and I would try to only make $300. So on those five, that would be $1,500. And I would do that every day. And that is pretty much like my salary, what I would use, because that was 1,500 a day. I would use that as salary. The other 10 contracts, I would go two, or sorry, 10 accounts, I would go two contracts on those. And then the remaining five, I would go three contracts, and I would leave runners and just try to capitalize on those as much as possible. Now, let me break that down for you. So, if you have 20 accounts, and let's say your 20 accounts is making um, $200 every day. Once price gets up to 200, you exit the trade. That's $4,000 a day that you'll be making. And let's just do some quick math. I know you can't see my calculator, but 20 accounts times 200 is $4,000 a day. There's 20 trading days in a month if you're not looking at any holidays. So that's a possible 80,000 a month. And then times that by 12 months a year, that's 960,000. So you can see the power of having multiple accounts and only making a little bit of money can make you a lot of money. Now, granted, um, one of their things with their payouts is they only pay out once every 14 days. You can request a withdrawal between the 1st and the 5th, and the 15th through the 20th. So two withdrawals a month. And for the first 60 days, you can only have a maximum of 2,000 per account. So that is one of the stipulations. And also another one is they have live drawdowns. So the example I gave before about them having, if you make 500 and it goes back to zero, now your trailing stop loss goes up 500. That is what Apex does. So they are really strict. But if you're really good at being consistent and having really, really tight risk management, you can make a lot of money with Apex, and you can have some huge withdrawals, especially if you hold your accounts past the 60 days. So that's a little bit about both of those. Another thing I want to say about funded accounts is I saw an interview and the guy said, don't try to pass uh, your funded accounts and just look at making money. The thing with funded accounts is about out of when you first get a funded account, out of that days that you have to trade, only about 10% will pass the eval in the first place. Out of that 10%, only about 5% will actually uh, get their PAs to a point where they get a payout. Out of that 5%, only 1% will actually keep that funded account for longer than a month. So the stats are against you and us, you and I, and it's not made for us. It's made for them to make money off of you paying for resets. That's how they make their money. So if you just worry about having your risk management in place and having excellent risk management skills and not being emotional, you can make a lot of money for using these funded accounts, which is a great way to scale. And like I was saying, with Apex, you can have up to 20 accounts. So let's say your goal initially is 200. Now you have a little bit more leniency to scale. You don't have to add more money in to scale. You could start with like 5 accounts, right? Start with 5. They always have crazy sales, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description below with the discount code that you can use. And they're always having these 80%, 90% off. So you can always get these accounts for next to nothing, pretty much. It's probably the cheapest around that you'll find. And um, yeah, get your account, start with 5, pass those 5, and then get into a habit, get into uh on a consistent basis of making, let's say, $200. And then once you get consistently making $200 for, let's say, like a month, then add another 5 accounts. They're always going to have another sale. The discount code that I'm going to leave below is always at least going to get you 50% off, at least. So you can always scale by just adding more accounts if you have the trade copier, and then let's say you get up to 20 accounts. Now you have a little bit more room to play with. You can, instead of making 200 on all accounts, you can make 200 on 15 accounts, and the remaining 5, you could try to go a little higher. And that's how you can scale your way up to making $1 million. Making $1 million a year is not hard, like, at all. It's really not that hard, especially if you just break it down on a annual, monthly, weekly, daily basis. You only need a certain amount. I think it's like 27. Let me see. Divided by, it's 2,740 dollars a day. That's all you need to make $1 million. And if you divide that by 5 accounts, let's say, that's $547 that you need to make per day. If you divide that by 20 accounts, you only need to make $136. If you make $136 a day on 20 accounts, it's an easy $1 million, right? So you can just got to think about how you want to scale. And yeah, that's really it. So yeah, look at these two prop firms. They have some good things on both of them. And I have used both of these and received payouts in both of these companies. So do your research and make a decision and lock in. And let's make some money.